12:40 a.m. Jeremiah was on the show today. Wasn't he pretty funny, you guys? Crack us all up. Give it up for him again. He's super funny. I'm going to tell a story about my brother, too. I'm not going to say the N-word, though. I tell you about the time I first heard the N-word in my whole life. I got my ass kicked twice. Once because I said it, but after I heard it, and once because I heard it. And okay, you want to hear that story? We'll start with that one. I lived in a duplex, right? And that means there's two parts of one house, a duplex. And then my neighbors, their family owned it. They were black people, and their daughter rented it from their father. And then Bobby and his little brother Steve were my neighbor kids, best friends with me and my little brother Brian, right? So Steve is in the same class, or Bobby's in the same class as me, and we're like best friends. We played with G.I. Joe action figure toys. You guys ever play with your G.I. Joes? No, you're an actual G.I. Joe, right? You're a vet. Well, we did. So, you guys know who G.I. Joe guys like Duke are, right? You know who Duke is? The leader, the white bread nerd that nobody wants. You know who Alpine was? He was a smooth black guy. He used to climb mountains. He was real cool. He came with like a grappling hook. He climbed mountains. He talked smooth. He rhymed when he talked, kind of like a rapper almost. Smooth black dude. So I saved up my money from delivering newspapers when I was a kid, so that I could. I'm assuming I'm the oldest person in this room right now. Anybody over 48? No. Fisher's almost
my
there.
back is.
He said my back is.
Back is older than 48. How old are you?
11.
Never mind. It's not 48, probably. I guess.
25.
He said, me and my back are both 48. Weird. So anyway, me and Bobby, we were playing with our G.I. Joes at school. You're not supposed to take those to school, right? So we're playing with our G.I. Joes. He's like, hey, James, trade me Duke. I don't like Duke. My grandma got me Duke. He's a nerdy white guy. Even though he's the leader, I didn't want him. He was like, no, I want Alpine. I'll trade you for Alpine. I just was like, no, man. Because I really saved up my money for this, for the cool one, not the nerdy one. He's like, come on, man, blah, blah, blah. So I wouldn't do it. We go to class, and I put my G.I. Joe on my desk. I shut my desk, and then I go to the bathroom. I come out and open my desk to get my stuff out. And what's in there? Not Alpine. It's Duke. And I grab Duke out. I'm like, hey, Bobby, what the heck, man? Give me my Alpine back. He's like, nah, just let me borrow it. I'm like, no, give me my Alpine back. It's not cool. We're like best friends, almost like brothers. We lived right next to each other for years. And we're in 4th grade. We've gone to school since we were kindergarten together, blah, blah, blah. So we're getting an argument. And I never heard him say this before. He said, F you, N-word. But you say it for me. He said, F you.
Nigga.
Yeah, that's what he said. And I'm like, whoa, I never heard that. I didn't know what it meant, And then the teacher walked in when he said it, right? She grabs me and Bobby and says, get over here, you guys, and then writes a thing in cursive on a piece of paper. I still can't read cursive, let alone could I read it then. But she says, take it to the office, and hands it to me. We go to the office, and I go in there, and then, the principal, when we finally got in there, I had to hand him the thing. Now, my principal was, 6'10". He looked like Brian Urlacher, big giant, bald, scary guy. I'm a little kid. And he reads it, and it says in cursive, this student had said the N-word in my classroom. So he grabs me up, and he grabs his paddle off the wall, right? He's about to take it to me. He starts smacking me a couple times real hard, and I was about to scream, and Bobby jumps up and he says, James didn't say.
Nigga.
Yeah. He said, I said.
Nigga.
That's right. I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about. What's this even mean,
That's good backup.
So he stops hitting me, He's like, Bobby, we don't use that kind of language in here, blah, blah, blah. I know you're allowed to say it, maybe in your family or around your in your own group of people. I don't know exactly how he said it. It's his culture. He might be able to get away with it. He can't say it at school. So I get another piece of paper from my principal with more cursive on it. It says I took my G.I. Joe guy to school and everything. I'm like, man, I'm dead meat. So I get home. My dad used to be like an activist in Chicago, and used to march and stuff for civil rights movements. And so when I got home and I handed him the thing, and I said, Dad, here's this. But he said, I took my G.I. Joe guy to school. So he gets mad and he smacks me and spanks me for that. But then after that, I told him what happened in the office, and I said, what's the
Nigga.
Yeah, what's that mean? Like, we don't use that word in this house. Where'd you even hear that? You guys up starts beating the crap out of my ass. I was like, I didn't say it, Bobby said it. I said it this time, but I didn't say it like I didn't know what it meant, you know. He's like starts trying to explain to me what it means, and then I don't know if he was waiting for this moment his whole life. You ever watch Roots before? My dad took out a box set, VCR box set of VHS Roots. Yeah, there's like six cassette tapes. He just opens it fresh.
Oh God.
It's a sulfur.
You were immersed into the culture.
He
Wow.
opens it for the first time. He opens Roots and makes you sit down and watch the beginning to the end,
Oh,
the
no.
whole damn day and watching Roots. And as he's trying to explain how people need to be treating each other the same, blah blah blah. And he's like, afterwards, he's like, so now have you learned why we don't say the N word in our family and act like that? I'm like, yeah, I guess. But what I actually learned was if somebody wants to change my name to Toby, my fucking name is Toby. Bottom line, with that.
Respect.
You didn't understand the moral of the story. I'm like, I don't think you understand the moral of the
You
story.
understand the moral.
Ass beat, and they finally had to say it anyway. Just say it right away. Am I wrong? Fisher?
No.
You seen the movie Fisher? I ain't never seen Fisher laugh this much. Anything I've ever said. Most of the shit I say was directed at him. So I'm gonna tell you about my grandmother. Because they say the more you tell stories about like personal stuff, it's real, like that one, the more people relate to you, you know, and then they kind of like they'll laugh a little more.